All right. So when I was thinking about today's topic, I kind of stopped and was sitting at my house, looking around and just thinking, what do I need to talk about today? What do my lovely singles need to learn, be more aware of, kind of tap more into on their journey for love? And guess what I came up with? Well, first of all, I'm Jacqueline, professional matchmaker for Discover Love Matches. And I've been a matchmaker for, over 8 years as an official matchmaker, but I've been doing it in the spiritual realm for a long time. So this is a really exciting opportunity for me to dig into more things with you. I'm loving these weekly videos, and I really appreciate all your likes and subscribes and comments. So helping me keep the focus, keep the inspiration, and think about juicy topics. So this is what's great. In my business, I get to talk about so many good things. So I'm really wanting to talk about something so incredibly important. As many of you know, I have private one-on-one conversations with men and women at all stages of their love journey. And I get the pre and post date information. And a lot of people just aren't ready for dating in the sense of their space. So I want to bring up some funny stories that will make you kind of go, ooh, been there, done that, or oops, I think I might have created that situation. So when you're ready to start dating, and you're thinking you might want to have people over, maybe it's just for a nice dinner, maybe it is for an opportunity for more intimacy, more private conversation, closeness. Are you actually ready? Now I'm going to say this to you men. Do you have toilet paper on the toilet paper roll? At this point, we don't even care if you have it rolling under or above, which we do prefer above. But I want to know, because I have to say, I personally have walked into many men's bathrooms with literally maybe a square on there if I'm lucky. And then I open underneath the sink and there is still no toilet paper. And we girls need toilet paper. I'm just saying, guys, check your toilet paper. And I hear this from so many women. And then I was thinking too about how there are so many little steps that we're used to our own space, but we forget it's new for somebody who's walking in for the very first time. So I had a place at one point that we always came in the side door. It was the kitchen door. It was never the front door. And I was like, so if I had somebody over, what are they seeing? Like when somebody come to the doorbell, I'd stop and think about that, because we use the front door so little that I went outside one time and realized we had a rotten, disgusting, moldy, mushy pumpkin that all of us forgot about because nobody had been going through the front door. So as a lady, I was not making my space inviting by any means. It was gross, and nobody was thinking that they were going to walk into a nice home. And I've been to people's homes that there's just so much pet hair, animals are jumping all over you, and you're just kind of not comfortable. I mean, yes, if you're a total animal lover, that's great. But for most people, they might have dressed kind of nice and they're not really looking to be slobbered all over. So having your space where it is inviting and it is encouraging. One of my workbooks, I talk about having space for the person you have coming over, in the sense that maybe you have a drawer once you start dating them regularly. I had a client that he always said he'd make extra room in his closet because he knew whoever he had as his future person would be someone who liked a lot of great clothes. So he was already preparing space for that person. And I remember talking to a lady one time, and she really got in a bit of a tither over making space for men. And she went through her whole home, especially her bedroom and her bathroom, and goes, oh, all of my drawers are full and I'm keeping it that way. Clearly, I'm not ready to meet anyone. She did not want to budge an inch. She didn't want to make room. She didn't want to do anything. So I want you to really ask yourself, are you making your space inviting and encouraging? I have a fabulous friend that worked with my business in the early parts, and she always talked about kind of having like your date go bag and having something so that when you go on a date with somebody you've been close to and possibly been intimate with, that you might not have planned for an overnight, but you have stuff in case you need to refresh. Like I've gone on dates and we've gone on a hike and then we went out to dinner and I was like, I'm so glad I have my go bag where I can just kind of fluff up a little bit, brush my hair, brush my teeth, or, maybe put a different shirt on, something to kind of revive. And I think men and women can have a little bit of backup clothes in the car, but don't have your go bag on a first date. I remember I had a friend years ago, and she was so eager to get a relationship that every time she went on a date, she would tell the guy, oh, I have a bag, I can just sleep over. I've got one in the car, so I'm okay. And she said a lot of guys were kind of freaked out about that, but didn't really change her behavior. She just didn't want to go home. So there was a sadness with it. But the reality was it wasn't attractive for some men, and some men it's very attractive. So just think about how you can be prepared in the sense that you can actually go on dates. I know, just like girls say, we don't shave our legs sometimes for a date just to kind of keep some boundaries. But the reality is we also sometimes don't pick up our place, because then it's a lot easier to say, oh, no, you can't come in, you can't come back. But, I'm starting to think of how many times that people said no to a potential match because they already put the walls up. They already made sure the house wasn't going to look good, so they wouldn't have somebody over. And I was thinking about this the other day. I was getting this crazy cleaning, nesting, organizing, picking up things, changing things. And I was like, oh, does this mean I have a visitor coming soon? Whether it's a friend, it's a relationship, it's a dating, there's something about listening to being prepared for success and thinking good thoughts when you're getting ready to start dating or when you are beginning the dating journey. Even one of my fabulous clients, who is now happily married to one of my ladies, he said that he had a work truck and he was so excited to go on a date with her, but he thought he won't impress her with that truck. It was full of all of his construction things. So he borrowed his sister's car to make a good impression, showing that he was willing to do the and then some. Obviously worked because they were married a year later and they're still happily married. But it's that little extra effort. It's a little extra time, making sure, the sink isn't just piling with dishes, that the toilet's been scrubbed recently, and really put the toilet seat down. Please, just pretty please. And look around the floor. I had one lady tell me about a date that she went over to this guy's house, went into his bathroom to use the bathroom like a normal person. And she couldn't believe he would leave his underwear and his shorts, whatever pants he was wearing, like he just walked right out of them. Like you could see the circle leg space. It was just crumpled on the floor. And he just had these little piles of his underwear all over the floor. And so she had to kind of tiptoe. And yes, he was one of those guys without toilet paper. And look around too, like the towels, like maybe have one set. I know there's times when I did not have very many good towels, but I made sure I had one good set when I had a guest coming over that got set out because my kids didn't care if it was kind of a tired towel. But if I had somebody coming over, I wanted to make sure that I had a nice bath towel, a nice shower, nice, hand towel, washcloth, and soap. Oh my gosh. Like how many times have you guys seen pictures on a dating site and they're taking a picture of themselves in the bathroom and their soap is even empty and the toilet paper is obviously not. And the toilet seat's up and it's dirty and it's like they're focused on their face, but you know what? We're looking at everything, even in a picture. But also if you go over to someone's home, you don't want to suddenly lose the mood because it's all yuck. So just take some time. Walk through your front door, look at how somebody would see your place new for the first time. You got a bunch of dead plants. Do you need to kind of spiffy things up? If you feel great about your space, you're going to feel more confident when you find that love match and bring them on home and continue the date as you are feeling comfortable. But it's also really inviting to show someone how you carry your space. Like, is your space so feminine or is it so masculine, or does it have a balance? I mean, if you got fluffy pillows all over the place, ladies, it's a bit much. Or guys, I've walked into guys' homes that there's nowhere to sit. It's got only like recliner couches to watch TV. There's no couch to sit together. I remember sitting on some guy's lap because there was no room. He only had one seats. He had a whole bunch of them, but only one butt seat. So we couldn't even like cuddle and watch a little movie together without me literally sitting on top of him. So look at your space. Look at what you have. Also, think about snack things. I have a fabulous friend who is so good at coming up with snacks, which is not my thing. I'm so bad. I can do snack plates, but I never know like what cheese or toppings or crackers or whatever. I totally stink at that. But she always has something. Like every time I go over to her house, she just has something. Like I swear she's like magic, Mary Poppins that just pops out. But it's good. Get a couple of those things ahead of time. Think of some nice things just in case the evening progresses. I will say I've been very impressed. I've gone over to someone's home and they're like, well, are you game to stay for dinner? And they don't tell me they've already got dinner figured out or breakfast or, they have things. They're just prepared in case things flow that way. I've definitely had times that they told me later after I went home, the next day they said, oh, I did have breakfast if you had wanted to stay, but they didn't make me feel like I had to stay, but they were prepared for me to stay, which was really inviting. And that's such an important thing. So I want you to stop and think, is my space ready? Like, do I have some sheets I can put a fresh set on? Are these gross sheets? Do I need to go buy a new set? What's going on here, people? Like, are you walking out of your underwear and leaving your underwear trail? Or do you have some fresh things? Have you dusted? Have you wiped down? Both women and men, we need to do this. We need to show that if you take pride in you, you're more likely to take pride in your partner. People are watching all of that. Take your car through the car wash before you go on a date. Vacuum it. You never know. At some moment, you might all of a sudden go, oh, I should drive her to her car. I've definitely had people say, I didn't give her a ride to her car because my car was dirty. I didn't think she would see my car because I thought we would just walk back to our cars. I didn't realize I'd want the evening to continue. So I want you to prepare for success. I want you to comment below to let me know what you've been doing to improve this, or tell me a funny story of too much one piece of toilet paper houses. That's all I can say. We don't need that. You can get a thing of toilet paper. It's a good thing. Show personal pride will make you way more attractive to the people that you're interested in. So like us a little bit, send us a little heart of love, and subscribe so we can keep sending you these great videos. And I am Jacqueline, professional matchmaker with Discover Love Matches, and I will let you know that the more you take investing in you, the more likely someone's going to want to invest in you too. Take the time, let us know what you're up to, comment on some great stories below, and we will keep this conversation going. I am Jacqueline, professional matchmaker with Discover Love Matches. Go ahead and add your profile if you haven't already.